We're up in Gloucester, Massachusetts on the Fat Tuna, and we're going to be going over how to do a simple wash and wax on this boat. So this boat has been fully repainted in Awlgrip, which is different from gel coat. This is a very soft paint. That being said, you don't want to use anything that's really abrasive. We have this mitt on a stick, which is super soft. And this is what we're going to be using to brush down all these painted surfaces. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse down the surface. And the reason I do this is to, one, push off any loose dirt, and two, it primes the surface for the soap. If the surface is hot, and thankfully we're in the shade, but if it's hot and you spray the cleaner directly on the surface, it could dry, which is what you want to avoid. So you never want to allow any product to dry on the surface. So the products we're going to be using for this maintenance wash is Stark Pure Clean, which is a pH neutral soap. The benefit of this is that it's pH neutral and it's not going to strip off any sealant or coatings that you have on the boat. Whether you have your boat ceramic coated or it's a polymer sealant, this process is going to be the same. After we go ahead and wash everything with the Pure Clean, we're going to spray down everything with the Replenish, Stark Replenish. This is a SiO2 spray sealant, and this is meant to be a topper on top of your coating or your sealant that has been applied on your boat. Now this is a water-based product, which allows you to apply it while the surface is still wet. And then we have Simple Clean. This is a concentrated degreaser. You don't want to be spraying this on all surfaces. This is more or less if you have a spot that's super stubborn, like a bird turd, or if you're in your compartments and you just have a lot of buildup. This will strip a sealant or a ceramic if you leave it on too long and you scrub too hard. So you want to use this modestly. So I got this Pure Clean mixed 1/3 ounce per gallon inside my spray pump. This is what I like to use to apply the soap to the surface because it foams it. You can use either this or a pressure washer with a foam cannon. This is what I have on hand, so this is what we're going to be using. And the benefit of having a foamer is that it allows the soap to cling to the surface longer, which allows the product to do more of the cleaning instead of your arms. It also creates surface tension and prevents it from drying, which then allows you to work bigger sections, which when you're working on large vessels, large surface areas, being able to do larger sections at a time is going to be way more efficient. All right, so we're going to rinse down the surface. I like working front to back. We already did the bow and the hardtop, so now we're working on these sides and going back. In general, whenever you're washing a boat, you want to be going front to back, top to bottom. So now I got the soap on the surface. As you can see, it's staying there. It's not really falling, which is the purpose of the foamer. Now we're going to take our mitt on a stick, which is a soft pad here. And we're using this because we don't want to use anything aggressive, anything that's really abrasive, because then you're going to damage the Awlgrip, which is a soft paint. So now we're going to go from the top and work our way down. Then I got my actual hand mitt here. Which is going to be good for getting in these tight areas. And I'm rinsing everything top to bottom, pushing it down into the back of the boat. So now we got the surface prepped, washed, ready for sealing. We're gonna be using Hyperhold Pro by Stark. And we got our Flex Cordless Orbital. And the pad of choice that I like is the Buff and Shine Eurofiber. This is the black finish and microfiber pad. And the reason I like this pad is for a few reasons. It's got a thin pile, and two, it's very soft. So we don't want to use anything that's really abrasive on the surface. All we're trying to accomplish here is getting the sealant on and off the surface. And the thin pile allows you to spread a nice, thin, even coat on the surface. More sealant or more wax on the surface does not make it more waxy. It just is more work for you to pull off. It's not going to add any extra protection. It's not going to do anything other than just waste product and waste your time. So that's why we like to use something with a thin pile to apply our sealant. So this is a 5-inch pad. We're going to get it on our machine, nice and centered. So this product is a polymer sealant. You should be able to get at least 6 months of protection off of it. It's a SiO2 based UV protection, and whenever you apply it, you can apply large sections at a time. So I'm going to apply it on the entire side of this boat here. I'm going to let it dry for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to wipe it off by hands. So you always want to make sure that you give it a good shake before you start using it. And a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to apply. This is the first time I'm applying it on the pad, so I'm using a little extra just to prime the pad. But after this initial priming of the pad, all you need is 4 or 5 little dots. That's all. You don't have to do the full lines like I did here. So I'm going to start up here. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. And when I'm making my passes, I'm overlapping them about 50%. So then I'm coming down about 50% of where my other pass was, coming like that. See a tiny little scuff right there? This will pull it out. And whenever I turn this off, I never want to turn it off and then pull it off the surface like that. That's how you damage the pad. Whenever I turn it off, I'm letting it spin out on the surface, and then I'm removing it, because that'll pull apart the layers of the pad, and then you can also fling product everywhere, which you don't want to do. So that's one section. I'm going to come in. Now that I got the surface primed, all I need, a few little drops, and I'm gonna keep moving right down the boat. Now it's important when using these random orbital DAs, dual actions, you don't want to use too much pressure. If you put in too much pressure, it stops it from rotating, which means it's not doing the work that it needs. So I'm putting just enough pressure to have it conform universally to the surface. If I go on the edge too much, that's going to stop its rotation. If I put too much pressure, that's also going to stop its rotation. So I'm doing light pressure, I'm holding it flat, and I'm letting it spin. If I go on the edge, that changes the rotation. Now it's not doing the work that it needs. Hold it flat, that's all you got to do. Now, this is different from polishing or compounding, whereas when you do a polish or a compound, you want to do your left rights and your up downs. That way you're hitting the surface from different angles to remove the oxidation or imperfections in the paint or gel coat. With this, literally all we're trying to do is get it on there. So I like to just go left to right. It's easier. You don't have to do the up and downs as well. Just left to right, that's all you gotta do. And then you let it dry for about 15-20 minutes, and then you come back and wipe it off. This application method only works if there's no oxidation present on the gel coat, or the Awlgrip for that matter. If there is oxidation present, it's gonna wanna absorb your sealant or your wax, and then it's gonna be a pain to wipe off. So this process only works if the surface is prepped properly. If you notice that the sealant is sticking to the surface, that means you didn't polish it correctly, or it needs to be polished or compounded. So now that we got our product on the surface, it's been on there for about 15-20 minutes, it's cured and ready to be wiped off. I like to use a 2-rag method when wiping off. I got 2 different colors here, so I know which one is being used for its certain purpose. The first rag is going to be used to pull off the initial layer of the sealant, and then the second rag is going to be more or less the final wipe. Now, it's important to have the proper technique when wiping. I like to fold it into fourths. You could even fold it into fifths. And what that does is it adds a little bit of padding. And then you're going to keep your fingers closed, put it on the surface in little circles. As opposed to having it open like this, coming in with your fingers open and then wiping like so. Now you're gonna get different pressure points on the surface, and you're not gonna wipe it uniformly and correctly. And this is especially important when you're wiping off ceramic and leveling off your ceramic. If you're not wiping it evenly and consistently, you're gonna get high spots. So I'm gonna go through, fold it up into fourths, maybe even a fifth. Fingers closed, extra padding, wipe down the surface. Good amount of pressure. I got that area. Now I'm gonna come through with my final wipe rag and do the same thing. And that's it. Now your boat is protected for up to 6 to 8 months, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching. All the tools and supplies shown in this video can be purchased at Marine Detail Supply at GreaterBoston.com, or you can also visit our in-store location at 28 Harbor Street, Unit number 6, Danvers, Massachusetts.